Hey, Dr. Dawn Nicole here, CEO and founder of ProcuraFind, and some call me the Queen of Connection. Today, I'm going to teach you all, and I'm saying this because this needs to be said. I'm going to teach you all how to actually make a power-packed connection that matters. Most people believe that they're making connections, but they're really just making introductions, and 50% of the introductions are distractions. So let's get into this as somebody who has built an entire enterprise on her network, and I have, right? An entire enterprise on the power of connection. I know a thing or two about connecting people. In fact, 90% of the business I am in, hear me, you all, is about making powerful connections that matter to both parties. There is an art and a science to this. And even though you may think this is trivial, Dawn Nicole, I already know how to do this, my friends. Clearly, people don't. Not only am I going to unpack how to do it, how to make a powerful connection and do it right, but I'm also going to talk about how you should respond. If I am connecting you, what is the power and the urgency you should use to respond and why this matters? And I'm going to use a real example. So let's get into this. What is a connection and how is a connection completely different from an introduction? Anybody can introduce, but not everybody is making connections the right way. It's the connection that matters, my friend. So let's go into it. The first rule of a powerful connection is it needs to be a connection between two people that is desirable and not a distraction. Whew! Drop the mic. It is desirable and not a distraction because not everything is desirable. And in order to know if two people desire, right, if it's valuable to party A and party B, you have to know a thing about both parties so that you, my friend, can be deemed as useful and helpful and valuable. Because here's the reality. The more powerful connections you make, the more powerful you are deemed, the more powerful your arsenal. People will come to you. They will tap into your knowledge base. They will leverage you, right? So this connection power is very powerful for your brand, for your reputation, and so much more. But equally, if you are known as a distractor, then people are going to want to steer clear from you. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you understand what is deemed desirable to both parties. Once you feel like you know that, and of course you do that by asking questions ahead of time, right? Hopefully you've done that. So what is the connection? The powerful connection is I'm getting ready to introduce two people who likely want to meet. Now, I'm going to give you a real use case because I have hundreds, probably thousands to share. In this particular case, there is a small business who has a vegan line of products, plant-based consumer packaged goods, foods, vitamins, drinks, right? And I'm not going to say he or she, this particular business is looking to do business with the airports across the nation. And it just so happens that ProcuraFind has plenty of relationships with different airports across the nation. So I also happen to know the procurement officers, because that's what we do at ProcuraFind. We know the procurement officers who are also looking for suppliers, vendors in this market, because vegan and plant-based is big business. Anyway, so I knew that the two of them likely wanted to meet, right? So here's the second thing, right? Now that you've made sure that there is desire to meet each other, right? The second thing is don't make the two parties guess around how you want them to work together. Oh, there's nothing more annoying, I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell it like it is, than someone who feels they're doing you a favor. They introduce you to someone, they introduce the two of you, and they're like, all right, go be great. And they haven't specified the angle, the business angle. What makes a connection is 2 points. 2 points that are going to connect. That means bump up and meet. And it's important for the connector to specify how you see them working together. Don't make people have to guess, or you're going to be another connection request that gets chucked, right? Or an email that just gets deleted and blocked. So don't make people have to guess. Actually say. So when I sent this email between the airport companies, my procurement team, and this particular small business, I said, hey, I want to take a moment to introduce you to a plant-based consumer packaged good vendor who sees themselves in airports. They are already working today with X, Y, and Z, and they want to do more business across the nation in similarly modeled airports. Okay. So I established credibility. I took an extra minute. I mean, if you're going to do it right, right? I know everybody's like, I'm too busy. Well, if you're going to do it right. There's power and value in you doing it well. Okay. So I explained the angle on how I see them working together. And I said, such and such, to the airport, I know you all are looking for folks in the plant-based market. I know you can't get enough vegan options, plant-based options. And this is exactly what this particular member company does. Here's their business capability. Here's their website. Go be great. Okay. So the second rule is I told them exactly the angle of the connection. I did not make them guess. Lastly, provide any information above and beyond just the person's email. If y'all want to make it easy and you want to bring value like we do at ProcuraFind, then what I do is I hyperlinked the LinkedIn page and I also added the business capability. And I basically said, hey, included is such and such as business capability. Here's their website. Feel free to connect beyond me. Let me know if there are any questions or if I can help further. Thanks. Have a great day, Dr. Dawn Nicole. Boom. Powerful connection. That's how you do it, my friends. If you're not going to do it right, don't do it. Now, here's the second part of this. I cannot tell you how many small businesses we aim to connect, and we do connect, and then they sit and wait for it. They have this thing where they're waiting on the companies to respond first. I got news for you, my friends. The hungriest person needs to be the one to act first. Do not wait. If you are hungry for the opportunity, if it's you, right, the one I'm connecting, and you are in pursuit of the opportunity, then you need to jump on that. So here's my rule, and I'm going to tell you why I'm getting so passionate, because when I reached out to the person, the small business I connected, and I said, hey, I connected you, so go and nudge them right after me on Monday, go and nudge them, there was some hesitancy. Yes. And I'm not picking on this person, but I see this a lot. I see this a ton. I see small businesses who are like, oh, I want to give it some time. I just want to wait. No, 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 no. We're working in tandem. It's a 1-2 punch. I'm gonna hit them first, right? And it's probably gonna fall from memory because there's so many emails in these people's inbox. And then you're gonna come right back on Monday. Meaning if I send this on Friday, you come back on Monday and you nudge with excitement. And so here's how that technique goes. Okay. You're gonna come atop of me and say, thank you, Dr. Dawn Nicole. I really appreciate the connection. That's called the gratitude piece. And then you're going to talk about the enthusiasm. Okay. You are going to basically say to them, hey, as Dr. Dawn Nicole said, I'm excited to work with you. Please let me know my very next step. So I call this taking the baton. All right, you're going to take the baton because I'm really passing the baton to you, right? I'm actually working with you, small business, right? I'm using my network to get you in. You better be excited, right? And you'd be surprised that if you wait, and I want y'all to test this, okay? When someone introduces you, if you wait, studies show that there's a high likelihood that you won't get any response because one time is just not enough. And if you rely on my one-time connection to get you in the door and you're waiting on them, you're doing it wrong and long, my friends. The moment someone makes a powerful connection for you, small businesses, you take the baton over. Thank you, Dawn Nicole. I appreciate it. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jill. As Dawn Nicole said, I'm really looking forward to doing some great things with you this year. Please let me know my very next step. Should I start by registering in your supplier portal, or I'm looking forward to your guidance? Boom. Literally, my person did this. Now, this is how I know because I do this again. I'm qualified to have this conversation. 90% of my business model is making powerful connections, and I capitalize off of it very well. Okay. So here's what happened in this case. I sent that email on Friday. I nudged the small business and said, hey, take the baton. I'm passing the baton to you. Go after it on Monday, right? Where they was a little leery, but I was like, trust me. So the person did what I said. They reached out on Monday, and right away, within 2 hours, Airport One in Alabama came back and said, hey, we're excited to meet vendors like you. Do this next thing and we'll look at some time with you. Airport 2 came back and said, here's our policy. We're glad you reached out. Do this. Let's you and I follow up. Boom, 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 boom. I guarantee, put mortgages on it, that would not have happened the same had they waited. So y'all stop waiting. When someone makes a connection request, right? A connection on your behalf, take the baton. Say thank you with gratitude. Take the baton with it. Be enthused, and then hit your call to action. What is the very next step? Are you willing to take a call with me? How would you guide me? What would you suggest I do next? Open-ended question mark. I'm waiting on it, right? So I hope that this was helpful. If you like content like this, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that you never miss out on any great content. And if you're a small business looking to get connected to corporate opportunities faster, then go to www.ProcuraFind.com. Also, be sure to get the new book, Be the Contract Winning Supplier, right? Because it has the beginning to winning guide on how you can be a contract winning supplier. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.